Hi folks, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for tuning in. This is the second part of our hiatus content. We're doing another experiment here. We just watched an episode of Scrubs with our good friend MotherFan Dan. We hope you like it.
Talk to him today.
What would you go by if you met him?
Chris, probably.
Chris the male nurse? CTM.
There's like Nurse Flowers. You know what we should do? We should do Scrubs instead.
Scrubs.
Actually had
That'd be
people
easy.
say that we should do Scrubs. Nobody said, hey, you guys should do Friends.
It's a good show.
We should
I mean,
do
well, they're
season
both good
5,
shows.
episode 3.
They're both great
Okay.
shows.
All right.
I'd have
Got
more
something about 5 threes?
to contribute to Scrubs because I could bitch the entire time about how we're not watching Friends.
Right,
That'll
yes.
work.
Yeah, that's true.
That'll be great.
I should definitely do my own personal spin-off where I talk about 2 broke girls and
Make sure Dan gets on that one.
just the one girl.
He's
Yeah.
got a lot to say. Oh, really? So you're only going to be critiquing the one girl, and it's
And this
not
scene
going
isn't
to be
interesting because Kat Dennings isn't in it.
right. And then you've lost all interest in the show, and whenever she's off
Like, it
screen.
doesn't even make sense. The show is called Two Broke Girls, and there's just one. We
Yeah, right,
We,
yeah,
we
that's
did
starring
watch
Deadpool.
all of that
What?
that stoner time travel thing.
Yeah,
It's on
time traveling
TV.
bong.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, it was
That was
actually-
very entertaining.
It was
you seen that one, James?
Much
No.
better than
Oh.
I thought it would be.
Oh, I couldn't stop watching it once it came on.
Right.
I was like,
No, we watched through
this.
the end and then had to watch the beginning again.
The internet video? What is it?
No, it's Comedy Central.
Comedy
maybe?
Central.
Like an
had
original,
the-
like a mini series. It's 3 episodes long,
Okay.
What was it?
and they were playing them back to back to back to back. So like we caught the last episode, and it was like, all right, that seemed okay. And then it played the the whole thing
It
over.
had-
You're like, oh, that makes much more sense now.
It had one of the girls from Broad City, I think is what it was.
Greek salad.
And then a guy who the character just reminded me of Dennis from
It's Always Sunny.
It's Always
Yes,
Sunny.
He seemed very much
basically
like
played
that type.
that kind of
Plain
character.
All right, my Jiggly Ball. That's season 5, episode 4 of Scrubs. Something to do in the meantime before we really dig into season 2 of How I Met Your Mother. I remember this episode has Jiggly Ball in it.
Are you doing the intro now? Because you sound like you don't care.
I care a lot.
All right.
I don't. You do it then.
All right. So this is Scrubs. Folks, thanks for tuning into the podcast. I'm here with my good friend Chris Venezia, who's giving me the evil eye, and motherfucker Dan. and
How's it
mother
going?
fan Dan. Our male nurse Dan is not able to join us. But in honor of him, we're going to watch an episode of Scrubs, which features male nurses.
Yes, I don't think Flowers is in this one.
Oh.
Nurse Paul Flowers.
Nurse Flowers?
I think he's a season 2 character. Maybe 3.
Oh, screw him. Chris, I was giving you some shit because you really liked this show, but you were describing it, and I didn't feel like you really cared. But tell me again, why do you really care about Scrubs?
What do
Just
I care
like
about
in general.
Scrubs in general? It may have sounded like I didn't care because I don't remember anything about this episode other than the Jiggly Ball,
Right.
which the janitor uses to taunt JD endlessly throughout the episode. It also may have sounded like I was uninterested because I haven't watched this show in a while. I remember
None of us have.
far less about this than I remember about How I Met Your Mother.
But yeah, none of us have seen this in a while, and actually, Dan, MotherFan Dan, you've never seen this before.
No, I'm not even familiar with what this show is or what it's about. Is this? It's based off of that hit song by TLC, "No Scrubs." They in the late '90s.
Yes, it's basically an autobiography of that pop group.
Okay. Well, then I'm ready. I know pretty much everything there is to know about TLC.
All right, well, I think we're all in for a fun ride.
Jiggly Ball.
Hey, that's Dr. Reed, also known as Dr.
Smelly
Yes, Smelly it. But yeah.
I've never seen this show before.
Dr. Stella Zinman. Yeah.
There's one of the characters from TLC.
And they put her in brown face.
Character.
That's wildly inappropriate.
Off the rails already.
But no, this is a good tie-in to How I Met Your Mother, since this is the other blonde doctor that this actress has played.
Right.
And there's a story that's why she got cast, is because she was the only actress in Hollywood who had a very fitted lab coat. Not a actual lab coat, but a Hollywood one that showed off her body.
I'm almost positive she said that she did use her Scrubs lab coat for that she just like brought that with her to the set. Because there was some overlap, I'm almost positive. Yeah, it's like I'm pretty sure that she was on Scrubs and playing Zinman at the same time. Or not.
Yes. Those are both possible.
Covered all my bases there.
I like season 5 because we have all these ancillary characters, like the Scrubs, the interns change every year, and this is Keith.
Yeah, it's got Keith. You know, the problem with doing Scrubs, not from the beginning, because I would enjoy doing this, straight through. I don't know who's in this and not. I don't know why JD lives with Elliot right now.
There's a lot of people in the show.
Yeah, and like, why are any of them at the place that they're at in their lives? And I'm just like picking up, I'm like, sort of just trying to put the pieces together of like, where are we at in this series right now?
Yeah, season 1 is a lot more fun because the main cast are the interns, and they're all learning, and they're all fucking up, and they're all super young. Like, if you go back and watch the pilot of Scrubs, JD looks so young. It looks like he's like 19.
Yeah, and the pilot, and also like the filming, the way they filmed it is different from like the entire rest of the series. Okay, so this is who can stay leaned back in a wheelchair the longest?
Yeah, we should ask male nurse Dan if he's ever done this, or challenge him to a wheelchair balance off.
Yeah,
I guess is what you'd call this.
Looks like Dr. Mickhead's pretty good at this.
There is an episode in one season where this X-ray, they have one of the characters break the intro and pull the X-ray and flip it back because the interns put it on backwards.
Ah, okay. Is that an episode where like intern kills someone?
The character was JD's baby mama.
Kim.
Doctor, I lied to you. Yeah.
Yes. And not just that, it was about something pretty big.
Right, yes.
Right, this is the story where Dr. Kelso doesn't care about anything at all, no matter what happened in his day, the moment he steps off of the front stairs of the hospital. Spoiler alert, he does care, but only in this episode and only at the very end.
Right.
So, now you don't need to finish the episode.
But it is kind of a nice thing because every Scrubs episode has a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this lesson is like, you can't let the horrible things at a hospital get you down, because a lot of horrible things happen in a hospital, and if you're going to be here 30 years...
Right, yeah.
How else are you going to last? Any insane janitors in your life, Dan?
No, there used to be one. He reminded me a lot of Jan Itor.
You finally killed him, huh?
No, he just went on his way.
Just found someone else. Turk wearing Crocs?
Well, I can't see his feet.
I think he's wearing Crocs.
He's walking like he's wearing
Yeah,
Crocs.
and Crocs with white socks. You bastard.
Well, he's the one that has to suffer through living like that.
Yeah.
Keep listening for Mr. Countertop.
Doesn't seem like an efficient use of his time, but...
Well, he doesn't want him talking to another human being.
Right.
He can't do that anymore. He's lost his talking to human being privileges.
He's dangerously incompetent, that's right.
That is not JD's first time listening to Mr. Countertop.
A lot of like goofy special effects in this series too. Like we just saw Bob Kelso with his super speed ability.
Right.
But they did that a lot more, I think, in the earlier seasons, like with the wacky sound effects. Although they did do some really goofy shit on How I Met Your Mother, especially season 9 with Robin the Balloon.
Yep, they did.
Stupid!
Yes, I know that was one of your least favorite things
I think
ever.
For a lot of people. So clearly Elliot and Stella Zinman are very different characters and very different shows. Elliot's like a live action cartoon
Yeah.
with her screaming and her talking really fast. Most of what she gets to do in How I Met Your Mother is like these long, soulful monologues to Ted about the importance of love.
She does that?
Well, you know, the as fast as she can. That
Oh yeah,
Little
yeah,
speech.
yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on in the show. That's why, like, Friends is an easier thing to break apart. Probably even before you get to How I Met Your Mother, because it's pretty straightforward. It's just people hanging out and figuring out their lives. How I Met Your Mother ups the ante by saying this all has a purpose. Friends didn't even make that claim.
Right,
They
yeah.
didn't even, like, we're going to tell you a rich story of all these characters and we're going to end up somewhere good. No, it's just watch some people do stuff.
Yeah. This is an odd episode of Scrubs to do first because Elliot's not in the hospital, and like you said, this show in particular, they tend to change up what roles the characters are playing.
Yeah, like who
Some
lives with
season-
who's in what job.
Yeah, sometimes
like
Kelso's not
what
even working there.
Yeah. And then later on when he's not working there, he lives in the muffin shop.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a muffin shop, but he has free muffins for life, so it becomes a muffin shop.
Yeah. What happened to Judy Reyes?
Well,
ever get another job?
after the last season of this show, she decided not to come back to the last season of this show because she probably thought it was stupid.
Yeah. The Scrubs in the
And was she right?
Yeah. Actually, I wanted to dig it. I wanted to dig that show like that. Like they brought back enough of the characters. They had Jo, who I liked. Thought she was a good character. Like JD tried to transition it. This guy doesn't want Turk to do surgery on him because he's so dumb that he's stuck in a vending machine.
And
Yes, JD can't mock anyone. He's stuck in a decaf coffee pot.
is he accepting balloons from a child in that mural? That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I know you don't have money for your treatment. I will take your balloon.
Yeah.
So this is where they all pelt him with balls because he was too prideful to admit that he didn't know what Jiggly Ball was. Even his friend Turk is there. And they pelt him with tennis balls. Even Carla, Elliot, his roommate. Yeah, Ted's got to get in there.
Ted's really liking it.
Yeah, well, it's usually him who's on the other end of, life.
Yeah.
Throwing jiggly balls at him.
He's that guy.
Ted might be a serial killer if he wasn't too timid. JD seems like genuinely like happy for them. Like, oh, you got to do something fun. I'm glad for you.
Yeah, he's at least okay with it.
Yeah. That does sound fun. I would have done that too.
I'm happy Ted finally got to do something that seemed fun for him.
I don't know if Ted's a serial killer or not, but at the end of this series, he gets to find love with the Gooch,
Right.
who plays the ukulele, and he leaves the show. He actually shows up again later in Cougar Town.
Ah, Cougar.
Yeah, which is another show done by Bill Lawrence,
Mhm.
and he comes back as Ted Theodore Buckland, who plays the guitar in Hawaii.
Right.
He's moved on to other things
You know,
in his life.
what I want to know is what did these people do for Bill Lawrence that he keeps them having acting jobs? Well, obviously he's married to,
He's married to one of them.
Yeah.
but there's cast members that keep coming back. So if you're a director, did they have to save his life somehow, or?
I just assumed that Bill Lawrence was just too lazy to go through casting again.
Yeah,
It's too much
no,
work.
Yeah.
No. I already know some people that'd be great for this part.
Yeah, just get my wife and Courtney Cox and
Who was on the show.
yeah.
And Matthew Perry was also on the show.
Matthew Perry was on this show, as Airplane Man.
Yeah, you found your son.
Found your son, I found your son, I found your son. We should have done that episode.
That's me.
Yeah, well, that would have been. There's a better crossover to at least Friends, but that's also Matthew Perry's dad plays his dad in that episode.
Oh, I didn't know that. Matthew Perry also in Cougar Town for one episode.
Nice when they do that.
They'll just,
Or
they'll
Matt
work
LeBlanc
together.
just can't.
Matt LeBlanc plays Matt LeBlanc
LeBlanc.
in LeBlanc's LeBlanc.
We did skip over the scene where Elliot gets her job back at the hospital by extorting Bob Kelso by threatening to expose his personal medical information.
Was that this episode or a later one? I don't think she got it back in this one.
No, this one.
Oh.
He also shows up at the free clinic and he's got an STD.
Oh, yeah.
That's where the scene ends, but...
We did skip over that. Yeah,
she
the
shows up
earring.
also.
This is why he got the earring that he jammed through his own ear.
Yeah.
So his wife wouldn't find out. Well, that's Jiggly Ball. We should have done that Friends episode, but the problem was I felt like that one was more serious than it was funny.
Well, I think on average, you're not going to find many episodes of Friends that are going to be more serious than an episode of Scrubs.
So that's it for this one, folks. We hope you enjoyed it. You can let us know what you think by joining our Facebook group. That's facebook.com/groups/HIMYM Superfans. Or you can tweet at me at HIMYM_James. And don't worry, we'll be back with Season 2 of How I Met Your Mother in just a few weeks. Thanks for listening.